Okay, so we're gonna come and do this vlog. This is gonna be probably the second or third take. I'm gonna keep it short. I kind of got off topic when I was recording with my DJI. And essentially what I wanted to talk about today was kind of the philosophy and the story behind my car, a little bit of my story, a little bit of why I am the way I am. And this is gonna be story time. So first off, I didn't like the S2000. The S2000 was never something that I dreamed about owning or even thought about owning when I was younger. My elementary days, my middle school days, and it was up until my high school years when my brother-in-law, at the time he was still my sister's boyfriend, he bought a 2008 Apex Blue CR. And the CR is the club racer, so if you don't know S2000s, that's going to be the special edition. And this video might be out of focus, but obviously the point is really for me to just share the story. Anyways, back to topic. That was when it changed everything that I thought about Hondas. I thought Hondas were all racers, I thought it was a racy car. And then who knew I would be proved wrong and I would have gone through two of these racy cars and become probably one of the biggest racers in Seattle, in Bellevue, in Washington State. This car means a lot to me. Not specifically this one, because I felt like my old chassis meant more to me because I learned more on it. But I feel like each car has their own personality, has their own soul. So I treat each car differently. It's kind of like, just because it's an S2000 doesn't mean I have sentimental value towards it. And I'm weird, I have sentimental value versus, towards cars. I don't know what noise that is. I need to get a mic too. But anyways, this is my second one. My first one was the 2003 AP1. That was the car that I got in trade with my MR2. The whole situation was really weird. We'll probably go into that another day. But that car I learned a lot. I drove it for 3-4 years. I did a lot of modifications on it. I learned a lot because I did a lot of stuff by myself and just watching YouTube videos, just DIYing it. Because as a broke 21-year-old, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was learning along the way, and it ended up being that I did a lot of cars better, or a lot of things better on this car than the used car. But yeah, like I said, the S2000, the CR was the one that got me started into all of this. It changed me in terms of the way I thought as a car enthusiast or whatever. I feel like the stage that everyone is at right now, how all the hate and all the disrespectfulness towards other people were really something of probably when I was in middle school and early high school years. So you can kind of compare yourself to how, you could be 20-something, you could be 30-something, and if you're acting that way, then what were you? You weren't any different than me when I was, 13, 14, 15. That's rather sad. So that's really what's wrong with the car community. Because with this car, with my old car, they're both outlandish. Every time it ends up on a public page like Seattle Cars and Coffee, I would just get roasted, I would get a ton of shit, people would just talk shit all day. And then so me and the boys at Zeller, we just sit there and we read the thread, we really don't respond, and we just laugh about the whole situation because we're more mature than that. Which is rather funny because we're all rather young, early 20s. Early to mid 20s, that's us. That's our. We're rather real. We're all growing together. We're all becoming more mature together, and we're just sitting here together as a group of young adults, looking out at the rest of the world surrounding us, where they're rather immature. And that's really what comes with the territory. This is the style that I enjoy, but I've loved cars ever since I was little. Maybe when I was younger, like those high school years, those early high school years, I didn't appreciate all kinds of cars. But as I've grown older, I've come to avoid car meets. I've come to avoid events with high attention rates, and You know, I've learned to respect all kinds of cars. I'll see a car enthusiast with maybe a lowrider, maybe a truck, maybe a Jeep, maybe a supercar, maybe another, you know, track car, maybe a stance car or whatever. If it's executed nicely and I can tell the attention to detail, you know, I'll appreciate it because I understand, you know, emotionally, this is my kind of thing. I love tracked out cars, aggressive wide bodies, that kind of thing. But logically, so with my brain, I understand that everyone likes what they like. So this is a problem that a lot of people have. A lot of people can't separate their emotions. So okay, your heart from your brain, which is, you know, this is something that is hard to do, but no one really thinks about. So you learned something from this video. And if you didn't, I hope you do because it's rather useful. Especially in dealing with people you don't like and being more mature. But anyways, yeah, I can appreciate all kinds of cars, you know, exotics, you know, trucks, off-roading things. You know, everything's cool, you know, I love cars. It's always fun to try something new. It's always fun to learn about someone else's story with cars. And this is kind of the prologue to my next series. So this series has kind of begun in Chinese, but I haven't started in English yet. And I'm probably going to start within this week. And the story is literally going to be showing you the car culture, the real car culture in Seattle. Because I feel like we're really underrated in terms of having the dopest cars or whatnot in the US compared to say Cali or whatever. But Seattle actually has a lot to offer. But it's because of the general car community that offsets us, off-puts us, where we don't want to show up to these events because it's not worth it for us to go out there and, you know, bring it out to show people who have no respect. You know, what's the point of me showing up to somewhere just to have someone talk shit to me? Because that's really how it is. People talk shit on the internet, but, you know, people talk shit all the time on the internet. I show up at the track, you're at the same track day as me, you're slower than me. You know, why would you talk shit on the internet when I literally put down a challenge and, you know, was literally like, okay, here's the day, here's the time, let's meet, I don't care what car you drive, I will roast you, that kind of thing. People don't, all they do is just type on a keyboard, and that's it. There isn't anything after. It's just all shit talking. You're 20, you're 30, you're an adult. You know, if you were faster than me, then I'll just be like, hey, you know, I'm sorry about the shit I talk. You know, you're faster than me. That's it. You know, and then shake your hands and then you move on. But people aren't like this in this day and age, which is why I hate the car community. You know, and then, you know, like now that I think about it, I know probably at least 40, 50 builds in Washington State alone that are really amazing builds, but just never show up to stuff because of this car community, because of how sad car culture is. You know, and that's why, like I tell everyone, I don't care if any of my friends or if I know anyone who's, you know, doing this car stuff with me. Say I didn't have any car friends at all, I was the only one doing this, I'd still do it because this is something that I personally enjoy. I enjoy cars, I can go drive by myself, I can go ride motorcycles by myself, I can keep playing this by myself without a care in the world because I'm doing this truly for me, myself, and I, not necessarily to quote unquote kill the game. Like what does that even mean? You're not killing anything, you're someone who is putting yourself on a pedestal, being, you know, thinking that you're superior to everyone else because your car is dope. Well, first off, your car is not dope. And second of all, you're still a nobody. You're still a regular human being just like the rest of us. I really think that just kind of summed it up in terms of what the car community really is. I mean, there are a lot of nice people, don't get me wrong, but maybe the way you approach other car enthusiasts and the way you talk to them, the way you phrase your wording is wrong. Because you can really, misunderstandings, you know, come up really easily depending on the way that you word it, your phrasing, and just the way you talk about things to people. And don't act like you know everything in the world, because no matter how much much you know, someone will know more than you, and most of the times you're probably here while the person you're talking to is probably somewhere up here, but they're just pretending like they're stupid and they're just being nice to you. I feel like the car community is really childish. You know, and obviously just like the Toyota GT86, or sorry, not the GT86, the new Supra. You know, why is it sharing all these parts with the Z4? Cost effective. And, you know, that's really that. If you love the Supra so much, just go buy a Mark IV, because that's the car you fell in love with, right? Not the new, you're not looking for the new generation. Why bitch about it? Because if you're bitching about it, you're probably not one of the people that can afford it. You know, I don't care for that car. It's cool. It's not something I would buy. My dad likes it, but that, you know, that doesn't mean I have to like it. But I told him I thought it was ugly, and he was like, you know, wait until you see it in person, it might change your mind. But even then, it's not going to be a car that I'm going to consider buying, because I only buy cars that I know that I'm not going to sell. Even though my first car I had to sell because that car was just not good luck to me. So what happened with my old car was just that it was kind of outlandish and too out there, and then too many accidents with that car. So that's why we ended up going to this car and making it more of a streetable and trackable car. So it's more like a street car that's tracked than a track car that's on the street, because I felt like my car on the exterior was a little bit too much of that. But this car on the inside, like all the drivetrain mods and all that stuff, are more they're more tracky than my old one was. So this car is not really that fun to drive on the street. Two-way diff, you know, the stiffness of the suspension, all the little suspension bits like your RCAs, your end lace, all that stuff. It's not really meant to be driven on the street with all those mods, but you know, there's a whole list of other stuff. So if you want to see that, you can go on the Car Meets app, and I do have most of my build list on there. Yeah, that's really the philosophy behind this car. I just didn't want to be as outlandish. Something that was just solid, that I could just drive with no worries. I didn't really have to focus about any more mods or anything to it. There are a few more things on the list, probably about 4 things that I do want to do. That'll come at a later time. And I'm not in a rush, I just want to enjoy it. Like I said, I'm doing this for myself and not anyone else. You know, just a short rant. So I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. And I hope you learned something from this. Because we're just, you know, at the end of the day, we're all just kids. We're all just people who love cars, who, you know, want to enjoy the passion of owning these cars. And we just want to share our passion with other people. And, you know, I hope you guys will look forward to this short series of videos where it's going to be me showing the world, or showing YouTube, that Seattle is indeed a place with nice builds, much rather than everyone just believing that it's California or Florida or the East Coast. You know, they're not the only ones. Seattle is actually a pretty big city on the map. Especially in terms of car culture, we have a lot of unique builds. We have a lot of people who are very skilled at what they do. And I just hope to share everyone's story and show you the true side of car culture. And it's going to be passion. That's going to be the focus. You know, just like Sticky Dojo. Passion first, the rest will follow. And he's somebody who's, you know, very influential, especially in the Honda community, the car community. He just enjoys a lot of cars, and he just, you know, respects everything. Not obviously not unless you're an asshole, but that's, you know, that goes without saying. So yeah, if you guys like this, hope you guys will subscribe. Hope you guys will turn on notifications and give me a thumbs up on the video. Because like I said, this platform, this video is for me to share my story and the Seattle car culture story, and maybe even other places. Maybe it'll expand beyond Seattle. But right now my focus is Seattle because this is home. I was born, raised, and grew up here. So this is home to me, and I enjoy it a lot, and I just want to show everyone how great of a place it is, even though it rains a lot, even though we have a long off season for car stuff. But I daily drive this car, 365 a year. I daily driven my old ones, 365 a year for 3, 4, 5 years. I love nice cars. So if you have one, treat it nicely. And then I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.